Here's a video of Los Olives, California, and near Santa Barbara, California, where my brother lives. Him and his wife took me and my sister when we was on vacation for wine tasting in Los Olives. This is a video taken off the square across from the gas station where the gas station scenes were taken in Return to Mayberry, 1986. Wouldn't it be neat to show a picture of the cast at that time in 1986 taken in Mount Olive on the building as if it was placed on the building? Here's a tutorial on how to do that using Hitfilm Pro. Here I have opened a copy of Hitfilm. I'm going to start a new project to the settings I want, which is 4K, 29 frames a second, which is what the video is. And hit OK. I do not want to start proxy files. I now have Hitfilm open. I want to activate the viewer if it ain't already activated so I can see what I'm doing. Go to Import, Media. In the C Projects Return to Mayberry folder, that's where I place my copy of the gas station. I'm going to highlight it and click Open. And I'm now going to place that video onto the Hitfilm timeline by sliding it over into the timeline. I notice as I scroll through the video, a car appears at the end of the video. I do not want that car in front of the gas station, so I'm going to scroll it back. And then at the edge of the timeline, grab it and pull it back and erase that part of the video. Put the scroll head to the front of the video, which ain't really necessary. Right click on the video and highlight where it says Make Composite Shot. Click on it. Hit OK. I now have a composite shot of that video. Now I'm going to go to the effects section, scroll down where it says Boris FX, Mocha. Open it up, place Mocha Hitfilm onto the video on the timeline in a composite shot. Open up that part of the video where it says Mocha, launch Mocha, then place a tracking mat around the area where I want the picture to be on the building. I'm making it about the same size as the picture. Then I will play with it a few minutes so I get it exactly where I want it on the video. I want it to be pretty close because it's going to track just where I place it. And go up and put the tracking mask, which is inside of the tracking points I just made. This is where the picture is actually going to be. It will be placed inside of that blue square, which is inside of the red tracking square. I'll take a few minutes to adjust it to get it exactly where I want it, because that's exactly where the picture is going to stay or be placed. Then put a grid in front of that. The grid will take the blue square and as you adjust it, match up to the plane of the building where you want the picture to be. You want it to be pretty close where they look like they belong together. Grid matches up to the plane of the building. So you'll play with it a few minutes. You'll see the grid move around as you adjust your blue square. When I get it to where I want it, I'm going to go down to the pixels used for the track and type in 95. And hit perspective, which will give it a pretty good track. It doesn't have to be, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now I'm going to track the shot. I hit the track button, as you just seen. That's the track forward button I just hit. As it tracks, I'll watch the blue square and the grid. The grid is a good indicator if the blue track is staying where it's supposed to stay. That's easier to watch than the blue square. The blue square could be off just a tiny bit, which will throw the grid off a lot. You may miss the blue square being off, but it's easy to see the grid going out of place. Then you can make adjustments to stop the video or stop the track by hitting the white button in between the track buttons. Make your adjustment to put it back where it needs to be and hit track forward again. As you see it tracking, you can see that it's staying pretty much where it needs to be. It's doing a good job. I'm watching the blue square and the red square, which is doing the actual tracking. The blue square is stuck to the red square, and the grid is following the plane motion or the squareness or the plane of the blue square. It looks like it's staying just where it needs to be to get a good track. This is my first instruction video. I don't know all my terms correctly, but I do know what I'm doing. As it tracks forward, the grid is looking pretty good. It seems to be staying right where it needs to stay. It's not moving left or right. The corners aren't going up and down. Now the track is finished. Now I'm going to scroll back and forth a few times, just real quick to make sure it still looks okay. Seems to be doing okay. Looks good. Oh yeah. I think we've got this one. Now I'll go to where it says Export Tracking Data. Click on Hitfilm corner pin. And hit Save. Go to the C Projects Return to Mayberry folder. I'm going to call this corner pin. Corner pin. And hit Save. It's now tracked the four corners of that blue square. I'm going to go out of Mocha. Hit Save. I'm going to hit Save. Now I'm back in Hitfilm. I'm going to clean up my timeline a little bit, close a few things so it looks neat. Go to Import. Click on the crew on the Return to Mayberry folder. And place it into the timeline above the video. Now it's in the video, but we've got to get it to that blue square, or tracked where the blue square was. So now we're going to go to Import Corner Pin. That's our tracking data. Click on it, open it, and now it's in the timeline already. It's already open and shown on the timeline where it says input. Let's go down, go to effects, and it says quad warp. You open it, and there's 4 points: top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. That's the points of the blue square. We're going to highlight each one using the curtail, holding down and clicking each one. And the white dots, which is now blue off to the right, is a tracking data on each square or each frame of the video as the blue square moved. You're going to right click, hit copy. Now go back to the timeline with the picture and the video. Click on the picture. Make sure it's highlighted. Go to effects. Scroll down to where it says warp. Click on it. Go down to where it says quad warp. Place it on the picture. Now if you look on the picture, it's opened up. There's a section that says quad warp. And again, you have top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Open both of those. Open all of those, all four. Highlight them with the curtail. Clicking on each one. Put your mouser on one, right click, hit paste. Now all that tracking data from that blue square from the corner pin will be transferred to the quad warp into the picture. That'll put the picture right where it needs to be onto the building. Seeing they've been transported, all the points. I'm going to play it to see how it looks. Not too bad. Looks like it's doing pretty good. Now I'm going to export what I've done and save it to my hard drive. Hit export. Go down where it says add to Quench. I'm going to do the contents. And there it is. I'm going to click on this part right here. I have different options of video to export it as. I'm going to click on the YouTube H.264 1080p. Then I'm going to place it back into the folder C Projects Return to Mayberry. I'm going to call it Finished. That's a good thing to call it. Make it easy to find. Under C Projects Return to Mayberry. Hit Save. Now I'm going to hit Start Exporting. Now it's going to export. You'll see the green line go across there in the middle where it's highlighted at the bottom. It'll take off here in a minute. And also, if you look, there it is being exported to your hard drive as it's being burned off as a 1080p H.264 YouTube file. It is now done. I heard it click. Now we're going to close, hit film. I'm going to hit save in case I want to save it to change it later or add more to it. I'm going to save it to the C Projects Return to Mayberry file. And just call it maybe Mayberry. It'll show as a Hitfilm project file, but it'll be called Mayberry in case I need to find it later. Now I'm going to go to my hard drive and find the file. I'm going to go to the C drive, Projects, Return to Mayberry. There's a file that says Finished. And there it is. I did leave a watermark in the middle of that. I didn't have to, but I didn't know not to remove it on my desktop recorder. But there you go. There you have it. That looks pretty good. Thanks for watching.